I knew I needed to get sober, but I did not want to go to rehab. The only way my family was able to convince me is by giving me Xanax. On house lockdown, I had over 20 different people from a facility calling me. I had Jersey Jerry calling me while I was just drinking myself away and telling them all to fuck off. If you guys are new here, my name is Josh McCauley. I'm an online fitness and sober coach. I help those going through addiction with cocaine, alcohol, gambling. One thing I learned on my sobriety journey is I love helping others. That is my purpose here. That is my passion. So I am going to continue to provide value and knowledge based on what I've went through and what works for me. If you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, whether it's positive or negative. We are always looking for feedback. But let's get into the video. So towards the end of my addiction, it was getting to a point where I was hitting my mom up every week for money. Hey, I need money for this. I need money for that. All while I'm a successful engineer, I was making good money. So my mom started to wonder, why does he need money if he's got such a good job? What's he spending it on? What's he doing? At that point, I was gambling like crazy. I was doing drugs, but I didn't want to tell my mom. It got to a point where she kept asking, all right, I know something's wrong. My mom's my best friend. So I kept telling her, no, I'm fine. I was just spending it out on the weekends. But eventually I just caved in and I was crying. And I told her I was struggling. I was in bad gambling addiction. I didn't want to tell her that I was doing cocaine, but I ended up admitting it. It felt like there was a weight lifted off my chest. I was struggling bad and I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know who to tell. And my mom was there for me. My family helped me. I went home for the weekend and we chatted about it. At that point, I was $20,000 in credit card debt. We talked on the weekend. I cash advanced it all. My family was like, all right, you're gonna get sober. They helped me pay off the cards as a way that I didn't have to pay the interest. I was gonna pay them back. So I went back to Syracuse after talking with them under the idea that I was gonna be clean. My credit cards were good. I would pay my family back as time went on. My intention after that conversation was to stop. And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I got a bag on the way home. About 3 to 4 weeks later, I had spent another 20 grand. The amount of shame, the amount of guilt that I felt, and again, I was asking my mom for money. And there was a point where she was calling me, and I didn't want to answer because I was so scared, and I knew that how disappointed they should be in me. I deserved to get beaten. I deserved to be banished. And I remember just not wanting to answer, just distancing myself, just numbing the pain by using. I will never forget this, and that is one of the reasons that I'm still here, is I lost all of the money. It was a Sunday night. I'm coming down off drugs, and my mom called me, and she's like, what's wrong? Just tell me. And I told her I lost it all. I was back in addiction, and she told me, she goes, I love you. We're going to get through this. And because she told me that, I was in such a low spot. I didn't know what to do. I was in a place where I didn't think I could get out of. I don't think I could recover from that. My family loves me more than anything, but I deserve to get beaten. I deserve to get put down in a situation like that. And for them to have compassion and love and tell me that I'm gonna be okay and that they still love me was everything, because I was in a very, very low spot. I wouldn't have hurt myself, but if you wanna feel like that, I can show you how. At this point, my family still doesn't understand addiction. So now you're gonna stop, you're gonna give me access to your bank account. It's just gonna be like that. But addiction doesn't work like that. If you are an addict, you are going to find ways to get it. You are going to spend all of the money that you have on this substance. At this point in my addiction, I'm kind of tweaking. The way I'm using, I'm staying up for 4 days straight. I'll sleep for maybe a day or two. I'm eating, I'm sleeping, and then 4 days on again. And when you're doing it like that, you go into a psychosis state where you are seeing things that aren't there, where you are tweaking. I was barricading myself in my room. There was this one time where my family was all going to Florida. I didn't go because I didn't think I could get my drugs down there. I wanted to be safe at home with my substance. And my parents didn't know the extent I was at and that I was unable to quit. I was gonna drive 4 hours home and watch my dogs for the week because I can work from home. And that drive was the scariest drive that I've ever done. I don't know how I made it. I'd been on cocaine bender for the last month. I go to get in my car. As I'm getting in my car, I remembered there was a flock of crows. I don't know if you call it a flock, but above my house, circling my house. And I was kind of in a psychosis state where I thought things were out to get me, but it was the weirdest thing that there were just crows circling my house. Something in the air just felt like something bad was gonna happen. And that was the start of my drive. On that drive home, I probably did a 12 pack of Claws, a gram of Coke, and I was seeing things the whole time. I thought there was something in my car that was fighting at me, that was scratching at my back, that was biting my legs. It was terrifying. About halfway on the drive, I got out of my car at this gas station. My phone was dying and I had to get away from whatever was in my car. I kept getting out and thought it was in my trunk. I'm letting it out. I'm in this store charging my phone, looking in my shoes, looking in my pants, like a fucking crazy person. The girls at the cash register were looking. I was in there for an hour. It was about a 4-hour drive to get home, and it took me 6.5 hours. My grandma was waiting for me. When I got to my house, my pants were off. When I was driving in my car, I kept setting up my phone to try and record it, and I kept feeling something turning my phone away, some sort of force. And I kept getting out of my car, opening my door, trying to catch something on camera that wasn't there. I thought it was controlling my steering wheel, so I was just trying to drive as fast as I could to get home. To the extent that I was using in the way that I was seeing things, it concerned my family. They're like, what is going on? I was sending pictures of things to my family group chat. Don't you guys see this? And they're like, what the fuck? Nothing is there. So I ended up getting home that night. My family's all on vacation. I sent the pictures to the group chat and my family's like, nothing's there. And I'm like, fuck you guys. You don't see anything. You don't believe me. I crashed out, left the group chat. My family is very concerned about me at this point. They sent my grandma over to my house. They sent my uncle over to my house to do a welfare check. They're trying to take me to the hospital. I'm saying, get the fuck out of my house, to my grandma and my uncle, which I love more than anything. So it was crazy that I would speak to them like that. At this point, everything's crashing down. I'm not doing good at my job. I'm on the shit list. I'm about to lose my job. My grandma's coming by every couple hours to check on me. I'm telling her to leave as I'm doing cocaine. And then my parents fly home early from vacation without telling me, without saying anything. And they ran in and they gave me a hug. This was on a Tuesday or Wednesday that they got home. And my mom is my rock. She's done everything for me. She's calling the rehab facility. She's got the nicest rehab facility ready to go. 10 different people start calling me from the facility, texting me. And at this point, I'm still on a bender. I was in lockdown, but I snuck out and got an 8-ball. I ripped the 8-ball one night. I'm drinking like crazy. I don't give a fuck. I didn't care to be here, really. I didn't care to be here anymore. And that's the way I was using. And I would not go to rehab. I'm not getting brainwashed by you stupid fucks. I don't need that. Eventually, after a week of doing that, I eventually was on lockdown. I couldn't go get cocaine. My mom wouldn't let me leave the house. I'm gambling like crazy. I was up $7,000 and then lost it right before rehab. All of these things, and then it's at 5 in the morning on Sunday morning. I'm writing a list of the friends I can trust. I don't even know. I was fucked up. When my sister came out, she's a counselor, and she convinced me to go at 5:30, 6 a.m. I gave up. You know what? I'm supposed to be at work on Monday. I gave up. They had me on a plane in about 2 hours from that moment to get on that plane, because any longer I probably would have changed my mind and said, no, I'm not going. I know that was a long story, but I'm gonna leave this at a part 1 on what led up to going to rehab. And I'll give the experience of what it was like at rehab. But I'd like to sum this up by saying I would not be here today if it weren't for my family and the things that they've done for me. They never gave up on me. They are the reason that I got the help, because I was in such a low spot where I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck about anything. I didn't give a fuck about the people around me. I didn't give a fuck about my job. I didn't give a fuck about myself. And that was because of built up years and years of trauma that was undealt with, that was built with inside me. I had so much ugliness inside me that I hadn't let out, and I was expressing it in very negative ways, or I was numbing it by using, and that was a reflection all of how I was feeling inside. But I wasn't able to get the help that I needed until my family was there for me. I appreciate you guys. If you are still tuned in, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment. If you want more content like this, keep coming back. I try and post 2 to 3 videos a week. If you are interested in getting sober, learning more about sobriety, you want one-on-one coaching, DM me START on Instagram. My username is Josh_McCauley_. But I appreciate you guys. Let's spread love, not hate. Let's make a positive change in this world. Love you guys.